If you're thinking about moving to Reno or the surrounding areas, you're really gonna wanna watch this video first, so make sure you are staying with me. Let's preface this video with the fact that I did not grow up here. I'm not from here. In fact, I moved here from across the country, so I totally understand what it's like to be looking at a city from afar and trying to figure out whether or not you could actually envision your life there and what it might be like. And probably among the most important questions would be, can I afford to live there? What is it going to cost to live there? So I'm gonna help you answer some of those questions. And I also just wanna tell you that after living in this area for more than a decade, after moving all over the place, I have utterly fallen in love with this city, and I have high hopes and a high level of confidence that you will too. So stay with me. All right, let's just dive right in. I'm gonna shoot it to you straight because if you are looking at moving here, you obviously are thinking about the financial aspect of that and what it's going to cost to live here. Now, it's no secret that our neighboring state, California, is experiencing somewhat of a mass exodus. I'm not gonna get into politics, and I'm certainly not gonna tell you whether or not I'm a fan of this happening. What I am gonna tell you is that it is directly impacting us here in Reno and our local housing market, our economy, and all kinds of other ways, our rapid expansion that we're seeing on all fronts. And that's largely because we are the next big city to the east in parts of California, right? I mean, you have Sacramento and then you have Reno. So we are right here, and we have no state income tax. There are a lot of reasons that make Reno very desirable, but mainly I would say one of them is the close proximity geographically. So with that influx of people, obviously the cost of living here is getting driven up. A lot of locals are, longtime locals, people who've been here for generations, whose families have been here for generations. A lot of them are a little bit bitter, but we can't negate the fact that there are a lot of amazing things happening here that wouldn't be happening without this influx of population. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's dive into a few statistics that might put some of this into perspective for you. Now, I just want you to know that all of this data is fresh. It was captured this year in 2023. All right, being a native East Coaster, this first statistic is something that kind of helped me frame my own perspective about it. But despite the cost of living and everything seemingly skyrocketing in Reno, this city is still 28.3% less expensive than living in New York City, and that's without the cost of rent. This is just all other costs of living, 28.3%, so that's pretty significant. When you do factor in rent, Reno is actually 54.9% less expensive than New York City, which actually really baffles me. It blows my mind, but that is the truth, and that is what the data says. Without rent, the estimated monthly cost for a family of four, the overhead, the cost of living in Reno, is about $3,500, give or take. A single person monthly overhead without rent is about $995, so just shy of $1,000 a month. Here are some more data points that I find super interesting. So we know that Reno is home to a ton of really cool, funky, eclectic, culturally diverse restaurants. Foodies love it here. There's a lot to see and do and eat in Reno, which brings me to my next set of data. You want to know how much it costs to go out to eat here, right? I mean, if you're going to move here, that's going to be part of your life, especially with all the great places that we have here to do. So the average cost of a meal for two people at a mid-range restaurant in Reno is $65. I'm going to go ahead and assume that that doesn't include drinks or alcohol because, I mean, let's be real. But if you're just buying food and maybe a soft drink, you can count on it being about $65 at a mid-range restaurant. Of course, we have a lot of great steakhouses. The casinos have really good steakhouses, and there is a ton of upscale dining here, so I'm not talking about that, and I'm not talking about fast food. I'm talking about all the things in between. The average cost of basic utilities for a studio single bedroom apartment, so let's just say about 915 square feet, and this is going to include electricity, heating, cooling, water, and garbage. It's going to cost you about $160 per month. My home, which is about double that size, give or take, is just shy of being double that cost, so I guess that does make sense. And of course, that doesn't include internet, or if you buy cable, we just stream everything because we are millennial parents, but I know that some people would want to factor in probably a cable package, or at least Netflix and Hulu and Roku and Disney Plus like we do. If you're a parent or you're planning to be a parent, as part of your overall vision for life in Reno, you're going to want to know about the cost of childcare and preschool and maybe even private school if that's on your agenda. So the average cost for that, and I'm talking about like full-time preschool, or if you're gonna go to a private kindergarten or day school, it's gonna cost you about $1,000 per month. I know some schools, like if you have siblings that are part of the same family, they give you a little bit of a discount per child if you're going to enroll more than one, but on average it's about $1,000 for one child. The average cost of rent for a one-bedroom apartment, and this is if it's close to downtown, midtown, all of the walkable, desirable areas, that's gonna run you almost $1,600 per month. When you look at the average net salary for people in Reno, which is about $3,100 per month, and you start adding up the cost of the apartment, the cost of living, the cost of going out to eat, all that stuff, it does kind of feel like something's not really adding up, at least to me. It's kind of painting a picture of like, we're not making enough money on average to afford living here. What about you guys? Do you think so? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this in the comments below, so go ahead and drop your comment. I love to look through all this stuff. I think that market data, generational data, like all kinds of demographics and data, super interesting stuff to me. I do think that this kind of weird relationship between cost of living and average income or salary kind of speaks to the trend that we are seeing with all of these people from California moving here who are able to work remote, right? So they're making the California money, but they're paying the Nevada price tag for cost of living. I mean, you can't really knock it. It kind of seems like a very smart way to go about it, if you ask me. I mean, why not keep more of your paycheck, right? There are implications with that said for the people who live here, work here, have always lived here, have always worked here. I'm not going to get into all that. That's really not my role. I'm just kind of giving you the facts and the numbers as they are recorded. That being said, if you are thinking about making a move to Reno or Sparks or the surrounding areas, or if you're already here and you're thinking about making a move in real estate, I would absolutely love to be of service to you. There's an opportunity for you to book a call with me in the description box below. It's totally free, no obligation. We can chat and never talk again, though I hope that never happens. But it's just an opportunity for you to get any of your questions answered and see if I can help you kind of devise a strategy with your next and best steps. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button. I put out videos every single week about the Reno lifestyle, the Reno Sparks housing market, and all things related to buying and selling real estate. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.